is a friend of the show before the show was invented, and a consistent guest on a previous show.
You might even say he was what was he? He was on contract.
Doing shit, I guess.
Yeah, he had the Make-A-Wish one-day contract.
There we go, the one-day contract.
The one-day contracts, yeah.
Welcome, our boy Rollo, man. How you doing?
Just chilling, just laying low in quarantine, all that good shit. Moving about, all that jazz. Working. Currently don't work for the man anymore. I work for myself, which is pretty dope. Yeah.
That's the wave.
So last time I was here, I used to work 9 to 5 like everyone else. Now I'm self-employed, which is a hell of a year to do it. But
This is the best time to do it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty lit. And it's been a ride currently. Working for a lot of artists, doing a lot of some of the shit that I always wanted to do. So like artwork for artists, by artists, and all that all that jazz. Especially with musicians and stuff like that. So here in the
no,
East
that's
Coast,
what's up. I mean, if speaking of that, I want to give people a little bit. I mean, I guess you gave some of your background, but I guess a little bit into the artiste, like in terms of the arts. What's your flavor?
Yeah, so I'm a graphic designer, technically by trade, but I usually work with motion design and animation. So that's generally what I like to do. But I'm an illustrator as well, and I do a lot of course, like brand, merchandising, things like that. Pick your flavor. If it has design in it, I'm usually in it. So generally what I do right now. But right now I'm working on with a lot of artists doing cover art for a lot of their artwork, and as well as that working with an artist currently doing, like, can't go into too much detail, but I'm going into doing animations for them, that good old IG kind of shit, and gifts and things like that to help them promote their own stuff. Can't cross the NDAs.
Speaking of NDAs are the movement, I know.
They are. gotta be vague, but not vague enough. You know what I mean? But
man, that's what's up.
It's currently what we in right now. I think where we're at right now, especially when it comes to artwork and music and things like that, we're at a forefront of a crossroads, especially this year. So when it comes to a lot of the things that we're doing, I think it's gonna be a little crazy. I think we're gonna see a lot of things that are gonna come up and push forth, like almost like a new renaissance in a way. And I'm just being right there at the forefront of it too feels really dope. So
real rap, man. I think me and Tax here, whenever we're shooting the shit on our episodes, I think it's something that does come up. Just that in the times that we're in, doing the things that we're doing, whether it's just podding, Tax out here, in the studio making music, you yourself, as you just said, doing your graphic design work. I think for creators, content creators of the like, anyone into the arts, I think right now, if you just compare to history, yeah, man, it's gonna be a new age of art creativity that we're entering into, just because the world we're living in right now. It has its upsides too. Like, I think right now, despite what's going on outside our doors, outside our walls in the world, the creative space is the creative space is killing it, honestly. Like, I go on and see what people are working on, just in their own rooms, in their own homes, the work that they're doing. It goes to show, like, it's just, someone with, pen and paper and with their thoughts, they could do a lot,
Yeah. It's definitely breeding something for when it comes to creative space right now, which is pretty dope. And I think that's obviously, like, I want to say, like, an upside to being stuck at home, but I'm forced to do it, which is lit. I mean, it's fine. And the thing is, like, I would really suck if I hated what I was doing, but the things that I'm doing and the people I'm working with is making it feel real good, and that's kind of what I'm in it for. Especially if being self-employed and shit like that. It's like if I didn't love what I was doing, then it'd be really shitty. Obviously,
Self-employed and
I
not doing what you
literally be
love. Oh no.
yeah, right. So like, and that was like a big movement for me too, like leaving the 9 to 5 because I was not good. I was not in a good headspace working 9 to 5. Um, and for people who were shitty, and not only that, but it's like customer service too. Like I was working with people who had, of course, who were like a different league of, above me when it came to like monetary consumption, like monetary like consumption and shit like that, or like whatever what they were making because they
Different
were obviously
lifestyles, bro.
yeah,
Right? This
yeah. I mean, I was back and call to like people who were like could fucking afford 10 times the amount of things that I could afford, right? So there's like there's a difference of that and being treated and shit,
that
and it
disconnect.
and it just it wasn't good with me like mentally, and then I was already like doing work for people anyways, but I didn't have enough time because I was committing towards like these 9 to 5 and shit like that. But the minute like that goes away and you're now on your own and you can pick your clientele and work with people that you want to and say yes and no to like clients, it's a breath of fresh air, my guy.
You telling us, man, what we're doing, man, that's why we're doing this now. Make it the goal to basically live off of our passions. That's essentially what you just described, living off of your passion. And
Yeah, yeah.
that's what everybody should aim to strive to do.
Honestly.
That should be like everyone's. That in itself is how everyone can find their own version of success by truly pursuing your passions and using your mind, there's legit using your brain to figure out how can I live off the things how can I live off what I love to do.
Yeah, and I think a big part of it too is like uh my work schedule is whatever I make it. So like not only that too, but like I literally wake up at whenever, right? And my body's like, oh, you should be awake now. I'm like, all right, bet, cool. I'll just get up right now. It's fine. It's like fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, it's fine.
Let it rock.
And as long as it's whatever, as long as I'm obviously making my own deadlines and making like the work get done, it's fine. And like us, like it's different for other people and shit like that, because like they'll try to meet their own set schedule for like their days and shit. And for me, it's just like someone who has like ADHD and shit like that. You gotta get like kind of in like a mood in a way, and it'll hit and I'll do it. But if I'm on Destiny, it's probably gonna wait like 12 hours. But that's just me. Yet again. But like that's like obviously the trials and tribulations. Ooh, a raid? Maybe. This work. This can wait. It's fine.
Put that away message real quick. Set your own personal away message. Yeah. Not accepting any calls or messages at this time. Block out your schedule.
But yeah. So obviously the trial and tribulations of like working for yourself and by yourself is like setting like your own schedule and shit like that, or coming up with stuff. But I've never had a bad night of sleep. You know what I mean? Because like before, I used to have to wake up at like 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and like go to work and shit like that. And now I just wake up when I want to wake up.
Yo, that's the thing, right? Now you just wake up and you're just like, oh, I'm awake.
Yeah. The only thing is like,
what do I do next?
Yeah, the only thing is like distinguishing like parts of your house as like what's me and what's office. Luckily, we have an office because we just moved. Before I was like living far away. I lived like an hour away from Boston. Now I'm like 20 minutes. So it's a little different. Like because before it was like rough. But it's fine now. Like we have an office space, so I can actually distinguish what's work and what's play.
And have you been just also real quick, have you been working out of the office space, or have you been at the crib mostly banging out most of your design work and your commission type
Yeah,
of...
I mean, so I work with a collective currently. They're called the Chameleon Collective. We started it about a year ago. Actually we're a year in right now. Working with some big people currently. A lot of people who are in it are quite well known in like the Boston area. Leo the Kind, who's just signed to Republic Records, is part of it. Rilla Force, who's huge over here.
Hey, great, yo, that's the homie, man. You gotta get him to come through for the episode.
Yeah. 100%, 100%. When we're working with some dope ass artists like Piña, who's out of Boston as well, with Louis Customs, who does the kicks as well as that fashion. Luigi, of course, my boy Elder, gotta respect him.
Elder.
And my boy Jordan, who just congratulations to him, he just graduated from Mass Art and Illustration. So we have really dope designers and illustrators, as well as that we have musicians, and it's pretty dope working with them. It's been a year so far, and like we're doing shit now, and we have our own recording studio that's now up, and we're trying to like we just gotta clean it up essentially, as in like you make sure it's like nice and pristine. But that's with Rilla and shit like that. So just doing big things right now. So like trying to do work with them, and we all put each other on. Hence why it's a collective. That's kind of like the thing that we're doing right now, and try and get them to come through at some point. But yeah, so
Oh
that's like the
man,
current move right now. Yeah.
no, no, real quick, real quick. Give our listeners a little insight on the Chameleon Collective. Just in case if they kind of missed, because I know a little, because we spoke
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
past about it, and I mean, it's dope what you guys are doing. So I definitely
yeah.
want people listening to know what it is you guys are about and what y'all trying to do. So,
100%. Yeah.
yeah,
So like the way we see, us being artists here in Mass and shit, it's a little sort of rough in Massachusetts for artists to not only be seen but be heard as well. So the biggest thing we want to make sure is that we're people of color as well. So as POC, help other POC artists be seen and be heard as well. And then that's like a big part of it too. So we're all working
yeah,
together and creating a community in which us as artists can be seen and be heard. Um, and as well as that, just making sure that we also are as artists seen and heard, the collective as well. So we all have our own specialties and shit like that, of what we are and what we do in the realm of like art, whether it's musical or visual.
yep, visual.
And that's where we are. We're like these pinpoints of expertise that can actually work with other people and other brands and help them become better as well. So we're all just trying to work with each other and become better as as artists, whether in whatever respect you guys are in.
I
So
like that. I like that a lot. Grow within yourselves, but also to reach out and lend your support or assistance to anyone else that is also trying to grow. And
yeah.
I mean, I think that is, that should be the goal of all artists. People who see themselves as students of expression. That's a little way I like to put it. Because yeah, and I
Mhm.
think art art begets art.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. We were just trying to grow inward and outwardly, and I think that's the big part of it too. Inward between ourselves and outwardly towards the community and shit. But I think the biggest thing is like, especially here in uh this community, we just need to be seen.
Yeah, man. And honestly, it's a good time as any, as people make their voices heard in these times, and to really try to push and emphasize the messages that they want to get out to the world that really matters. And I think what you guys are about is definitely along those lines of what we need more of in the world. People who uh who, if they're into the arts, whether they're into the arts or you're into math, or it doesn't matter what it is that you're into, it's like whatever it is, that's your passion. Seek it out, follow it, find out what it is that you want to do. Um and I know, honest, even if you got to sit down and do it, I mean, I think even tax can definitely vouch for that. Sometimes it's
Mhm.
not easy to, it doesn't take a day to figure out what it is that you want to do with your life, or is it basically your calling, your passion. Um, and sometimes you may even think that, like, my passion doesn't, there's no money in my passion or anything like that, but you can't look at that either. Honestly, it's because at
Mhm.
the end of the day, are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it to be content, to be happy? you know, or to find your own success using your own two hands, 2 feet too. But